good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Saturday to everybody.
Yeah, happy Saturday.
You guys sound a little bit tired still.
I'm still trying to get myself together. That's why I'm not on camera yet.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
We have a busy day, so I'm trying to curl my hair right now. So.
Oh, right on. Right on. Okay. So you guys heading out somewhere, or
Yes,
like
actually. Well, I got to tell Carol, but I didn't get to share with the group. Michael got lucky and landed a temporary full-time job with Ford Motor, working on the line at the Flat Rock Assembly Plant for the new Mustang. And he started July 5th. And they're having an open house for the families today at 1.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So we're really excited to go see, what it's all about. And he's like, I don't know if we'll get to see where I'm exactly working, but I hope so. He's like, there's signs everywhere. So I think you're going to get to see the line where I'm at. So he's really excited and really loving it and doing very well there. So
That's really cool. Well, congratulations, to David, and sounds like a fun time, and he'll be able to talk Ford Motor with Hank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, the really super cool thing is Dave's dad retired from Ford, and the only job that Dave's dad ever had was working on the Mustang. So unfortunately, wow. Dave's dad passed away, so Michael can't talk directly with him about his experience, but he's like, I could be following in Papa's footsteps. So
that's cool.
That's very what's really cool. I mean, so yeah, it's pretty exciting. So
all right. Well, it'll be a fun open house today.
Get myself together.
Yep. And so I've got actually 2 cameras going here. So if anybody's confused, both of those Erics are me. So actually I've got one camera on, one off. But Billy, good morning. Carol, good morning. And Emily's on here as well.
So you got your shirt on today?
I got my shirt on. Yes, I was inspired by Hank last week. He looked awesome.
He loves his shirt.
That's so cool.
I think he might have worn it to his men's breakfast the next day. I'm trying to remember back if he did or not, but he loves it.
That is so cool. I love mine too, and I feel one of the reasons chose this is, I thought, well, first thing about any kind of like clothing, the advertising, logos, conversation starters, is you have to want to wear it, right? What good is a piece if you're like, either you don't want to wear it because you just don't like it, or it's not something that, maybe it's a color or something that's not very universal. I can wear this with jeans, I can wear this with shorts, I can wear this with nice slacks, and so that's one of the things that works out well. So as a result, I wear it quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I think Hank is going to wear his quite a bit too. In fact, he already has, I think, worn it 3 or 4 times, and it's a nice fitting shirt too, which was nice because that's why we had it sent to us first and then on to you. But yeah, it's great. I'm looking for a tank top type shirt because obviously that's when I'm going to wear it, and that's where I'm going to get the most pizzazz out of it. So I'm in search for a nice quality one.
That's what Erica got, and Erica she sent a message. She may or may not be joining us this morning, but she got, I didn't actually see all that she got, but she got 2 or 3 shirts. I think 1 or 2 of them were tank top, and
really?
she Will, who does the print on the transfer on there, just had a couple of back and forth questions for Erica because one of the tanks that she had, I think it was like a Nike or something like that. So it already had a logo in the one area, and we just simply moved it over onto the other side. You know, she was seeing if he could move it above or below, and it really wasn't working. And other than that, there was no difficulty, and he shipped them back to her, and she says she loves them.
Oh, great. Well, I'm going to have her send me pictures of those. And yeah, so yeah, mine will be coming
All right.
shortly.
And David
I love those kind of
Dassau's,
things.
yeah, as I think I mentioned to you, David Dassau, who I think is probably in flight or just arriving back from their fun time in Orlando with the family for a week or so. But his should be to him hopefully soon. I dropped it off yesterday, as a matter of fact. So that'll be fun, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You
Yeah,
know, it's
it'll
just
pick up steam.
it really will. You know, I really inspired by Ben and the Australian teams, and you know, when they get together for a walk and talk, I mean, it's like a universal parade. I mean, everybody is just on brand. You know, color. They've got the blue and the black, and of course the different logo, the WLCW. So it's just really, if people see that, they just like, wow, these people are pretty cool. I wonder what they're doing. Oh, this is what they're doing. You know, hey, maybe I should talk to them. You know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it starts with a seed and then it just builds from there. And it was interesting. I can't believe this traffic this morning. It's usually so quiet. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Anyway, yeah, a new gal that I have on HealthPointe. It's interesting, and I know Erica has had the same experience, and I think she's even had experience with her new clients. Well, they just talk. They start to talk it up, and you know, pretty soon somebody wants vitamins. Another person wants information on their what they're doing, how they're losing the weight, and that can start like right at the beginning, and that just kind of just feeds on itself, and I just see a big wave of momentum coming. I really do, and it's exciting.
I totally agree, and you know, just like you're talking about, and since Erica's not here, I'll just share some things that she shared with me. She had two people start. Was it last week? No, maybe it was a week before. They're either just wrapping up their first week or just wrapping up their second week. And right out of the gate, you know, they're already talking it up. People are asking them because the one gal, well, they both, you know, just had really, really great drops. I think in that first week, you realize it's still a little bit clunky. You know, you still haven't grooved the habits, of course, you know, but, you know, when you see like, I'll let Erica speak any specifics as she wants to, but we'll just say this one gal, certain, not necessarily prescription medicine or meds was she taking, but it was a type of medication she was used to having to take because of how she felt, how she had difficulties with this or that. And towards the end of the first week, she announced to Erica that she no longer needed to take that. And so, you know, the enthusiasm and the excitement, along with 3, 4, 5 pounds drop and the increased energy, like right out of the first week, she's like talking it up to her friends and sending Erica some phone numbers that, you know, people that are asking. I mean, you know, when 1 out of 3 people are diabetic or pre-diabetic, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are really clamoring for a good system, a good coach.
Yeah, good answers. And I was reading an article. I don't have the names of the 2 drugs. One starts with an X, I think. It's the 2 hot drugs out there for weight loss. And Stu Mann was talking about those, Dr. Stu Mann, at the panel at the weekend.
That's right,
and
the panel that you were on.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And how those drugs, as soon as people go off of those, see, they've never learned healthy eating habits. They've never learned healthy lifestyle. As soon as they go off, the doctors will be the first to say, oh, yeah, they'll put the weight back on. And that's just not what we want for people. It's, same
Yeah,
thing with,
I think what you're speaking of is Ozempic is
yes,
the
yes.
kind of like the latest that you hear about that. And then what you've been hearing for quite some time, it's been around for quite a while, is metformin. And
Oh,
I don't
metformin,
know for people that saw a post, I'm doing a lot of study on mitochondria right now. At one point, I'll bore you guys to tears with the science of mitochondria. It's really, really an incredible topic. But what this piece was Dr. Peter Attia, who is a lot of people are familiar with Peter Attia. He just came out with a book. Emily read it. It's called Live Longer or something like that. He's an incredible individual, like double board certified and everything. Anyhow, the clip that I posted on our Facebook group was where he specifically called out metformin. And what he says is, based on his research, he suspects it, quote unquote, poisons mitochondria. Now, mitochondria, very, very long story short, I mean, I'm not doing it any justification. Mitochondria are the energy production machines inside your body. They're what's called organelles. They're inside the walls of the cell. And they take, when we talk about metabolism, it is mitochondria that take that fuel and convert it into energy. It fuels everything, your brain, your entire body. And so if you're poisoning mitochondria with any type of thing, as he suspects, some of these pharmaceuticals do, then wow, that's a big issue. So I posted that on our Facebook group. It's a big deal.
There also was an article, I'm not sure if I sent it over to you or not, on the downsides of taking metformin. Of course, we know that when a person goes on that, they're going to go on it for life, unless they do something different with their lifestyle. And talks about how it creates fatigue, brain fog. It really cuts the production or the assimilation of B12. These are all brain things. And you were talking about the mitochondria. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember details like you do, Eric. I'm a visualization person.
Sure.
So that's why I love to hear you talk, because you just remember all these wonderful. I listen to the same things, but I don't remember them like you do. I got a lot of stuff going in my head here, what you do too, but you were able to sort it out and pull it out a lot better than me. But I thought I read just recently or heard on a podcast about omegas and how important they are for the health of the mitochondria, because the omegas make your cell membrane very permeable so that you can get the nutrition in and down to where it needs to be in the core of the cell, the mitochondria, and it gets the toxins out. And if your cell is not permeable, it's like having lard or Crisco over a piece of strainer mesh, like those little strainers that we have in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And nothing goes through, nothing comes back out.
Did you feed her breakfast?
And it's stuck.
It looked like you.
Kathy, you might want to mute.
So that is so important. And I want to hear more about the mitochondria from you, because it makes so much more sense.
Oh, hey, I love how you speak in visuals. We think in pictures.
I do, yeah. Lost your voice.
Explain things, visually. I think it's very, very helpful. What I would say to your point is yes, yes, and yes. Now, mitochondria is a huge topic. I never realized what the heck was going on with these little guys. I mean, it's a very, very exciting arena. It's a hot area of research right now. What I'll be doing, because I feel a little bit like I could shotgun a bunch of information around right now, which might be a little bit premature, but one of the things that I'm specifically looking at is, just like we look at HealthPointe, and there was a realization, at least for me personally, about a year and a half ago, that, hey, this is really a metabolic health machine, is what HealthPointe is all about. And for the 96 million Americans that are pre-diabetic or diabetic, this is an absolute tool for regulating blood sugar. And I saw HealthPointe as a tool with the nutrition and the Neutralite products and the system and the science to be able to do that. Likewise, with mitochondria, I'm looking at it through the lens and the research of not only omegas, but all your phytofactors, all your micronutrients, all your fuel, right? Because this is the organelle. That's what it is. It's an organelle that produces what's called ATP, which is the energy currency that fuels all the cells of your body. And if you are suboptimal on that, well, I'm just finishing up reading the book by Dr. Chris Palmer called Brain Energy. Cannot recommend that enough. That is about metabolism, mitochondria, and its effect on mental health, but it's about the whole body. If you have, since we were talking about cars originally, and Kathy and David and Ford and Hank's on here, Dr. Chris Palmer often uses a car metaphor, and he says, if you have a vehicle that is not fine-tuned, okay, let's say it's got wobbly wheels, let's say it's got a little bit of dirt in the gasoline that you're putting in, what are we talking about here? In the human body, these are things where you're fueling your body with sugar, highly processed, food-like substances that come in plastic wrappers that have, virtually zero nutritional value. If you use a car metaphor, what happens is, that car, you can push on the gas pedal all you want. It doesn't have the fuel to be able to, move forward in an efficient manner. And so, anyhow, I'm looking at it through a lens of, we've got this incredible brand with Neutralite, 8 decades of scientific research, 6,000 acres of certified organic farms, and complete control from seed to supplement. And what is that nutrition doing to the mitochondria? What is it doing to the cell walls? How is it optimizing? How is it that, you have a new person on board, I've got new people on board, Erica's got new people on board, and their first week, they're talking about how they feel.
Yes.
That's, so that's what I'm interested in learning about. And so I guess everybody stay tuned.
There's a great audio that I've been listening to, and I'll recommend it to the folks on here that are Network 21 professional members. There is a share. It's if you pull up the share button and you scroll down, you type in HealthPointe, you scroll down, you're going to get about 23 different audios. And one of them that goes into a lot of this is by Louise Evans. And she came from the fast food industry. And she said, all you people that are fighting all your addictions and stuff, she says, you can thank me because that was my business. And she said, I took nutrition in college. And then what did I do? I ended up in the fast food industry. And it's pretty gross. She talks about what goes on in those industries. And she talks all about a lot of this stuff. And very simple layman terms. But, the damage, the absolute damage and the shutdown of nutrition getting into those cells into the mitochondria. Just, if you eat it and you can't absorb it and you can't get it into your system, well, why eat it then? It's just sitting there. And
Right.
she goes into a lot of that. I really liked it. I
Who was it? Who was it again?
her name is Louise Evans. And I'm sorry, I did run this off and circle it, but I'm walking, so I don't bring stuff with me. But yeah, it's Louise Evans, and it's very, very good. There's another one that's really good, and it's the two Davids, I call them. It's a panel. It's a panel, and I think this Marisha, I think that's her name. They're from Australia, and she interviews the two of them, and boy, they bring out some really, really good points. And they're particularly helpful for me to just kind of go back and remember these things, because this is what people go through. People that get on HealthPointe are going through sugar withdrawal. And that was one of the biggest concerns with my gal that I just put on, is that she is extracting sugar out of her diet. And we know through Dr. Lutzik, who talks about how you're going to feel, well, he says like hell for a week, but it's true. And she said, I'm so amazed when I took the supplements and stuff, and she's taking the Focus and she's taking the XX or the Omegas for the specific HealthPointe reason. She said, how great I feel. I didn't get any headaches. I didn't get any withdrawal symptoms. And she was so excited. And she started telling her husband about it, her mother. Now they want to get on the vitamins. And that's the way things happen,
Yeah.
So sometimes even just sharing an audio like that, where somebody else is giving you their life experiences, I just find very, very helpful. I'm a big tool user. I like to use everybody else's research.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah. Where they, we could just be the connector, to that information, and they can get the information. So that Louise Evans, I'll maybe pull this up and maybe get some stuff over on our Facebook group. And then you mentioned about what you call the two Davids. Are you saying that the two Davids are interviewing Louise Evans? So if I search in the N21 app,
those are two separate audios, and I will send them to you when I get home, because I screenshot them to make sure that, first of all, they were shareable. And second of all, what each one covered. And so I will send those to you when I get home. I've got screenshots of them, and then we can post those. Now, you have to share it to a person that's not on Network 21 or the Pro program. Sometimes the Pro program has a lot more stuff to share. And so if it's not on there, we can share it. We can share it to people. But
all right. Well, that's that'll be great. I think I've listened. The one that you're talking about with Louise Evans, I'm confident I've listened to that one a couple of times, but it's been a while. And she's the one that she's kind of apologizing that now that she's helping people through HealthPointe, she feels like she's unwinding a lot of the damage that she did to society, from being in the food industry and first fueling them up. But good stuff, really good stuff. Well, we're going to go around the horn, and so let's see. Kathy, you're probably still getting ready. We got Larry in here. I had Lauren reach out saying that he was struggling to join in, so I just sent him the link again. Billy from Texas. Billy, we always want to know, how hot is it in Texas this morning? How you doing, Billy?
I'm doing fine. We still got hot weather. It's hot, but I can deal with it. It's 100 on average, it'd be 105, 107, 108 degrees. But at the same time, I went ahead and went ahead and ordered some of those scarves that Carol was telling us about. So we got that taken care of. And meanwhile, I didn't get the book. I just heard about Louise Evans, but I ordered some more books from Amazon. Well, two more books from Amazon for myself. I really want it, so I did that. And also we made some orders. I had some friends that I have a lot of respect for, and I wanted to do something. So we ordered some perfect water, and we sent that perfect water to both of them. So one of them got it, and I got a phone call from them, and they want to know where did we get the water from, and they really like it, and they want to order some when they run out. We sent them a case of water. Well, we sent it to two people, so that was a big plus. And I guess the next thing is that I put myself on a 30-day test that I want to do for myself. And I think that was great. So I just started yesterday. So I just want to put myself on a 30-day test and see what the result going to be. I'm looking forward to being positive.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's, I have to say, I'm learning more and more about, the Perfect Water product. Thank you, Hank, for helping us understand more about that. And so, yeah, got some going right here. Got back from morning walk. Although it's cool enough here, we're at the cottage and it's cool enough here. We're about half your temperature, just to put it in perspective, Billy.
we on average about 107, 108 degrees.
Yeah, we're literally like half, because I didn't go down and walk the dogs on the beach this morning because it's quite windy and wavy. So we took this trail back through the woods, and it's cottage, so I've got my sandals on, right? And the grass is got dew on it, which is great. It's fun. It's Mother Nature. But I noticed, golly, my toes are getting a little cold, because that grass, that wet grass, it's kind of chilly. And so anyhow, it was all good though. Had an audio in. I was listening to Jim Dornan on dreams, why dream? And boy, what a great bedrock audio to listen to, just in terms of to open up your thinking and so forth. So anyhow, well, Billy, like I said, we're happier temperature. Good to hear that you're hot. Where you're at, you probably move more perfect water than us in 55 degrees. So, Kathy, if you are kind of getting settled in there, I know you've got plans. You and David are going to be heading out here to your open house, and but if you want to unmute, all right, cool. All right.
I'm good. Yeah. Sorry about earlier. I forgot I was not muted. I usually try to be mindful of that. But
no problem.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank Billy, because I know the week before I missed the whole talk about the gratefulness journal and everything, but at least a little bit of recap that I got last week. That really helped a lot. And I actually did pull my journal out, the one that I had said I had gotten from our associate superintendent. And it's actually called the 3-minute morning and evening is what this one is. And similar to what Erica had, although I thought Erica's was a little bit cooler. This one, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start on Monday. And I'm happy to report I've done it every day. So,
nice.
And I've noticed a remarkable difference, and it's kind of cool. I'll grab it real quick and read it to you, because I do like the format of it, because it is nice and quick. And what I used to always do is I would do it when I first got into work in the morning, because I usually get there like 10, 15 minutes early anyway. And a lot of times I'll log into my computer and I'll catch myself at like 10 to 8. We're already working. I'm like, what are you doing? You got 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, forget that. I'm going to take my 10 minutes for me. So I usually quickly read my affirmations first of all, but then, so it says it has a date, and then there's always a quote at the top. So today says, you can't fall if you don't climb, but there's no joy in living your whole life on the ground. So they have like little quotes like that. And it says, my life is great because, and there's 3 lines. And then I will move closer to my goals today by 3 lines. Today I will brighten blank's day by. So it helps you kind of like pinpoint and think about maybe somebody, again, getting out of yourself and thinking about others. And then at night you go, today was great because 1, 2, and 3. So it,
Wow.
yeah. So
I like that. I like the you know, it's always attractive to have things that are like simple and actionable. And boy, that sounds like, I like particularly the one where it's like, I'm going to brighten up so-and-so's days by 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Oh, no. Actually, that's just a short answer. Just today I will brighten blank's day by with like 2
Right.
lines. So like not 3 things to do, but just like one thing you're going to do to brighten somebody's day.
Yeah.
You know, the other ones are like in 3s. My life is great because of 3 reasons. I will move closer to my goals today by doing 3 things, So yeah, it really helps you be really intentional about your day, and like I said, it was funny. I looked, okay, so she gave it to us and I thought, wow. Cause it's a blank, so you just write your date in. So I started it on January 3rd of 22. That was when she gave it to us. She gave it to us at Christmas of 21 before we went on Christmas break. And I was real good until, off and on throughout the months. September 27th of 22 was the last time I picked it up. So, it was almost a year. I'm like, holy moly, what have I been doing to myself, So I'm so happy that, that happened. As we say, with these walk and talks, you never know what you're going to get out of it and how it's going to relate. But that really was a little bit of a big game changer for me, helping me, be a little bit more focused and, so.
We all owe Billy a big thank you for kind of bringing our attention back around to this very, very important topic for our own happiness. Isn't it funny how we're designed that if we are grateful for others and other things, it helps our own happiness. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how everybody else felt when Kathy was reading off that, some of the steps in there, but I'll just speak for myself. It's very common to think, oh, I'm going to, try to be, I don't know, beneficial or helpful to people today or so-and-so. But like what you're saying, Kathy, that tool that makes it very intentional. So I could see where you could say, I don't know, I'll just say David, right? So I'm going to brighten David's day by, and it's really intentional. It's like somebody saying, oh, one of these days I'm going to start getting fit. It's another thing for a tool to say, get your shoes out and put them next to your bed the night before. That's very intentional. And so by saying, instead of just in the ether saying you're going to brighten David's day or your coworker's day, it's asking you to write down, and you have to think, oh, I know this person likes this, or their love language is this, words of affirmation or a gift or something. It makes you think it through and be very intentional on how you're going to brighten that person's day. That is really good.
Yeah. So like I said, it's called the 3-minute morning and evening, and it's paperback, obviously, because, you can write in it. And I don't know. I guess I should look and see if I'm sure there's an author. Let me see. What does it say? Intentions and reflections for a powerful life is what the little sub thing says.
Is it a particular author or anything? Or?
No, it looks like it's Autumn Creek Press. It says publisher's note. This publication is designed to provide insightful information in regard to the subject matter covered. It is sold with the understanding that neither the publisher nor the author is engaged in rendering coaching, counseling, or other professional services. If expert assistance is needed, the services of a competent professional should be sought. So no, they're not giving anybody credit for it.
Okay. All right. So It's yeah. Well, anyhow, it's probably available, readily available, or something similar. So
Yeah, I
but-
mean, like I know we got it through our book vendor, Complete Books, but because we have a big contract with them, but and it even tells you like how to use it.
wow.
And it
That's
says
awesome.
the 4 prompts, it says, you're ready to dive in. Feel free to skip this section and get right to journaling. If you're looking for a little more guidance, we'll discuss each of the 5 prompts and reasoning behind them. There's a wealth of research demonstrating the positive effects of gratitude. Studies show that taking time each day to specifically identify positive gifts, blessings, circumstances can significantly improve our overall happiness in life. Cultivating a quote attitude of gratitude can improve our physical health, deepen our sense of connection with others, make us more optimistic, and even increase the length and quality of our sleep. So and then it just talks about each thing. So yeah. So anyway, so like I said, I missed the first conversation on it, but with everything that Billy brought up last week, I was able to pick up on that, and it jogged a memory bank. It was like, oh yeah, where is that? Oh yeah, it's buried in my desk. And then when we just got our new desks, I came across it. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. So, and it was funny because, when it says the 5 things or the 3 things you're going to do to move closer to your goals, I knew I was going to Mom's physical therapy session with her. And I said, I'm going to connect with one person at physical therapy. Well, lo and behold, the assistant who's like doing her clinical rotation, who's going to Wayne State, Anita, she was there the first week when we were there. And then she was off last time, but then she was there and we started talking, and she was a super sweet gal. And we started talking, and turns out Friday was her last day because now she's got to go back to school. And so we just, we were talking and everything, and I dropped, because I was doing my steps there, because I'm like, sorry guys, I got to get my steps in. And I dropped my little nugget, and she's like, wow, and so then we were just kind of talking and everything, and I was thinking about it in the back of my head, and I'm like, well, I'm like, you have an amazing figure. I'm like, you definitely don't need to go on a diet by any means. I'm like, but this is a health and wellness program that we do. And I said, how's your energy level? And she's like, energy's pretty good, and I'm like, okay. And so then we were talking, and I'm like, do you take supplements? And she's like, yeah. She's like, my mom's got me on all these vitamins, vitamin B and vitamin C. And, I'm like, okay, I'm like, where are they from? She's like, I don't know. My mom gets them, gives them to me. And so I'm like, well, how old are you? And she's 23, right? So then I said, well, I said, with you going back to school, your schedule will be hectic. I'm like, I have a really great energy vitamin. So I was telling her about energy and focus. So then she says, she goes, I'm having gut issues. And I'm like, oh, gut issues? I'm your girl. We got plenty of things for that, And so by the end, I got her phone number. I told her, I'm like, I don't want to lose touch with you, And I'm like, I really would love to get to know you better. You're like a super sweet girl. I'm like, by the way, do you have a boyfriend? She's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, okay. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, I have a 22-year-old son. So, I'm like, and you're just super sweet. You're really pretty,
Listen to the matchmaker, Kathy.
Well, I told her, I said, I promise I won't say another word now, now that I know, I'm like, but I really, would like to get to know you better. And it was funny. I thought about it later. And I was like, well, I did write down today that I was going to connect with somebody today. So, they always say, you get what you look for and what you, so just being more focused again. So it helped me overall, so we'll see where it goes, but it was just funny because, she just said, she goes, oh, I'm having all kind of gut issues. I'm like, oh, I got plenty of things. I'm like, I got some articles. I'll send you some articles, so I'm obviously going to follow up with her. So, but it all kind of came from using that journal in the morning, and being more intentional. So.
That's great. That's really, really great. And so, yeah, what a great topic, about gratefulness and gratitude. And I know Emily has used various tools and just built habits around that as well. So great stuff. We're going to continue around.
Eric, can I just butt in for
Yes.
just a minute?
Yes.
I'm putting a disclaimer in here because I plugged my phone in last night, but apparently I didn't plug it in correctly because it's very low on juice. So if I phase out, it's not because you guys aren't interesting. It's because my phone went dead. So that's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, copy that. We'll hopefully keep you engaged here, but if not, we'll have a recording that you can grab, of course, because as soon as your phone goes out, Carol, I got to tell you, that's when we're going to really start talking about the good stuff. So.
There you go. Yep.
All the secrets are going to come out. I know.
Yes,
Yep. You'll miss
right.
it.
That's right.
Thank God for
So-
technology and recording.
I
Yeah,
love it.
no kidding. So, all right, we're going to continue. We've got Larry and Emily and Hank. So, and by the way, guys, I am, although up at the cottage, is particularly a weekend, it's not uncommon for me not to shave. This is not intentional that I've got that going. I actually got poison ivy. Thank you to my dogs. And Emily is so much more careful than I am. You know, I've gotten poison. Dogs go through the poison ivy, right? And they've got it on their hair, and it just, you know, it's a very stable product. And then one time on a Labrador that we had years ago, his name is Ruger, I got this incredibly bad case of poison ivy on my forearms. You know, poison ivy will usually get, you know, your thinner, more sensitive skin, and right on the inside of your forearms, it's very smooth, like baby skin. And both forearms were just covered with it, incredibly bad. And I Googled it. I was like, wow, what's happening here? And there was like a million pictures of people with it on the forearms. And I was like, and everybody said it was from lifting their dog up. Okay. And I thought that's exactly what it was. Is Ruger is a kind of a larger Labrador, and he was getting older. So to get him up and out of the vehicle, I was picking him up. And of course, he's got all that poison ivy oil on his chest. And so I learned, you know, watch out for the dogs, but I guess I didn't learn good enough, you know, so playing with the dogs and then, you know, whatever, you know, smooching them. And so I've got poison ivy on my face and everything. So shaving is a little bit out for a while. A little bit of a plug, if I may, on some products. So I'm probably most people on this call are familiar with our HA3 product, which is an incredibly great product for all kinds of things in terms of skin. I've been kind of putting a heavier dosage of that HA3, which is, you know, primarily a vitamin C type of a serum on it. And, you know, it's anecdotal, you know, it's not a double-blind study test or anything, but it seems like it's healing up quickly. And so anyhow, but for the moment, I'm going unshaven because I don't want to shave with poison ivy. So it's pretty rough stuff. So with that, Larry, the man of amazing skin always. How you doing, Larry? Good to see you. And what you got going this morning?
Hey, good to see everybody. We've been traveling and everything. So, you know, you kind of miss this meeting because it becomes a regular part of you. So I just want to say I missed you all, missed the meeting and missed the information, but but I'm glad that Eric records it and everything. You know, yeah. Today what I was going to talk about just briefly was, and we've had conversations like this before, but everybody's kind of put some input in on it. But we were traveling, so we were out of town, got back, tested positive for COVID. So, which is still around. So tested positive for it. So anyway, had some symptoms, ended up having to be in and to isolate. So, you know, here's my question is, okay, so what do you do when you're isolated? You can't go out, you can't, you know, you're trying to keep everybody safe. What do? You know, so in that isolation, I know that in many of our talks before we've had folks that come up with ideas, like if you're at a hotel or, you know, you're limited in what you can do because you're ill, because you've had some kind of injury or something like that. So, you know, I'd be, you know, and I thought of all kinds of things, you know, you do calisthenics, you do running in place, you know, you do your little circle around the room, you do, you know, I have a utility ball, you know, bounce on that as much as I possibly can. You know, every time you think of it, you get up and you move. So if you're limited, you know, I'd be interested in what were, maybe we could share with everybody if necessary, if possible. But some of the things that people do when they're limited and they can't do the things that they normally do. You can't do your walking outside. You can't do your, whatever other activities that you do to continue with your program and to continue to be active. So, and those things help because, as we were having talks before, then that's where I was picking up my ideas from, to see you and Kathy going around in circles in the room, in a small place, you can kind of, it's a little bit limited and a little bit boring, but, those
it's boring, but it works.
Still works. Still works. So anyway, that was my little input. Just wanted to say that. And, maybe some people have some other ideas and some input of what might be helpful to people to keep active.
Yeah, I'll definitely chime in on that. And sorry to hear that you got the COVID there, but I'm glad that you look great. And hopefully you're feeling great. And but whether it's something like that kind of forces us to be inside, or just for those of us in Michigan in the wintertime, it can be difficult, or I find just with my day-to-day activity, I would say the majority of my steps, and Kathy, I think you're the same way as me, the majority of my steps happen inside. So what I will do is, for me, it's not that boring because, as long as I'm in a safe walking area, I'm not going to do, just like a hallway or in and out of a bedroom in the hallway and stuff like that. I've got an earbud in, okay, so I can listen and I can read safely on my phone. And I'm, 20, 30 minutes of doing things on my phone. It could be highly productive things, work type things. It could be phone calls. We do a lot of voice memos in both businesses. It's a lot of asynchronous. So it's listening to somebody telling me something. It's me replying back. Carol can attest to the fact that every morning I check in with her. And so, I'm doing a voice memo update. And if she's catching that at that time, maybe I'll hear back from Carol within that same hour. So I'm listening. But all this stuff, what I'm doing right now where I'm sitting down is very unusual. So usually when I'm doing things like a Zoom, I can be walking. One other thing I'll mention that I started doing, and of course, do whatever you feel physically capable. And I'm saying you, meaning anybody that's listening to this, maybe on our YouTube channel or whatever, is the power of doing stairs in your home. So we've got some stairs that are carpeted, and so I will go up and down those stairs. In my case, still either certainly listening to something or sometimes even looking at my screen. Again, you just got to be careful, but they're carpeting. If I stub my toe or trip or whatever, I'm not going to get hurt. And this sounds really wild, but there's a lot of research on the benefit of walking backwards, falling, and their lack of stability in their knees, hips, and so forth. And so I will go up and down. Now I will kind of like hold the phone in one hand and kind of at least be touching the rail with the other hand, but I will go down a half a dozen stairs, and then I will go back up a half a dozen stairs, and I'll go down those stairs and I'll go back up backwards. I'll go down and up, down and up. And what that does, I'll tell you guys, in short order, your heart rate is up and you're getting your steps in. And it's moving into a little bit more of an anaerobic type of a thing, and but it's also really strengthening those stability muscles, those knee areas, and so forth. So yeah, definitely. Again, COVID driving you inside the house or what have you. There's lots of options, and Kathy, I know you do most of your walking inside as well. But that's what I have to say on that.
Yeah, you do get a lot more listening in. You get a lot more reading in because you're filling that time. So, like you said, you are getting knowledge as well as,
Yes.
So, that can also help with your program too and help you to, to do better at it. Just one last thing to add is that sometimes at least what I did was start making a few encouraging phone calls. When you don't feel well, sometimes one of the best things that you can do is reach out to other people and see if there's a way that you can encourage their day. So, that's just another thing. Maybe somebody else has some other things. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, that's great, Larry. Actually, you kind of tie in with what Kathy was talking about earlier, and having the benefit of both. So great stuff, Larry. Great to see you in here. I know you guys have been traveling, so great to see you in here. And we've got Emily. If Emily wants to be talking, Emily, my wife, that is. And so Emily, it looks like you're unmuting. Good morning again.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Emily.
Morning, Emily.
Welcome back, Larry. And
Hey,
sorry
thank
to
you.
hear about your COVID. And also, happy belated birthday.
Hey, thank you. Dated.
I hope
Yes,
you,
happy belated birthday.
Yep.
you did something fun. I have some. Oh, go ahead. What did you do for fun on the birthday?
I was isolated.
Oh my gosh! Of course, yeah, COVID. I do have some inputs about what to do in isolation. I've done this a lot when I travel to visit my sisters. Last travel, I was in Utah. So what I like to do is to do the body weight lifting. It's really fun. I have Peloton app, has amazing programs, different programs, and one of them is weightlifting, and body weightlifting is amazing. It will give your heart rate up, and it's fun. The instructors are very inspirational. They're very fun, positive, and also they play music. So I like that. And also I do cardio program. If you don't have Peloton apps, there are a ton of YouTubes. You can look up body weightlifting and cardio program, ton of them. So that's what I normally do. And it's really super fun.
Yeah.
What else? Go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to share with the group just a testament to what Emily is saying. And that is like literally this morning. So I'm up in the loft in our cottage, and Emily has a yoga mat, some, small basic dumbbells here. I see like a 12-pounder, a 5-pounder. There's a foam roller, and we have that at home too. And so like this morning, in fact, it was just a brief little conflict, because I came back from the walk with the dogs and I heard her fire up her Peloton app upstairs. I was like, well, hey, Emily, I'm going to actually be up in the loft, for our walk and talk. And she's like, oh, of course. Yeah. I'm just doing a 10-minute segment. So like literally just before our walk and talk, Emily was on the yoga mat here. She's got her earbud in and she's doing, like she says, these body lifts, and I can see the screen. I can see the instructor walking her through all these different exercises that she's doing. And what is the, like you said, Emily, there's a number of things on YouTube, free resources. You can just tap into YouTube and do it that way. But if you want to do the Peloton app, which is an amazing app, really well done. Remind us again, Emily, how much that is per month for the Peloton app?
$12.
$12.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, so $12 a month, guys, for the Peloton app. I don't know of any category of movement and health and exercise that's not in there. Emily, there's yoga, there's stretching, there's strength, there's walking, there's running. I mean, the list goes on and on. Probably dozens and dozens of very high caliber instructors. Like you said, really curated music. Yeah, great investment for $12 a month, guys. And the other beauty on that, like to Larry's point, when you, if you're traveling, we've got a conference coming up. A lot of us will be going to. Sometimes Emily and I will go either in the room or down to, most hotels will have an exercise room. Just go down there and fire up the app. And hey, Lauren, you're on. You might want to mute. Anyhow, anything else on that, Emily? That was very valuable.
And quickly on the other topic, so that's all I have. And thanks, Larry. I'm traveling Thursday to Dallas, so I will be extra careful. I'm sure I don't have COVID. No fun to be in isolation.
Come on.
Quickly on the other note,
Let's go.
as I mentioned,
Bailey, now.
I've muted Lauren. Yeah, that's fine.
Very quickly. So I have been reading a book called Comfort Crisis. Learned tons of things in that book. And this morning, it's a segment about social connection. And they gave some crazy statistic like, if we in isolation, without connection and feel lonely, people die. The rate of death is like crazy, like 28% within number of years. So social connection is very important. And Larry mentioned that reach out to people, talk to them, and get support. That's very, very important. And in the past, how many years ago, I did a postmaster talk about happiness, and this is study by Harvard over 80 years. That's the largest study about longevity and happiness. And the number one thing that keep people healthy physically, mentally, is positive social connection. So yes, Larry, you need to reach out to people.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
About yourself, and it makes you feel better when people are glad to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure. Boy, that's a great thing to bring up, Emily, about that Harvard study, one of the largest studies of its kind, and showing the incredible value of positive social connections. I think COVID, during the strong segment of COVID where, there was massive lockdowns. Of course, there was a lot of ramifications in that realm that, I think all of us, experienced for the first time what it's like to be disconnected socially. And, there was a lot of struggles that came from that. It kind of highlighted more and more the studies like what Emily is talking about. So fortunately, whether it's our Saturday walk and talks or us, just work community, right? That's what we're doing here. That's what we're building community. We're building, positive social connections. And, Emily, to your point, like literally in that study, it points out the effects that has on health and longevity. Who would have thought, right? You think it's just about food. You think it's just about nutrition, and yet it's clear that positive social connections and having those is very, very important. So that is awesome, Emily. Thank you. You always add so much value when you are able to contribute on here. So great stuff.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah. Lauren, it looks like you got connected here. I'm going to unmute you. And there you go. Go ahead, Lauren. And then Hank, if you're there, and then we'll be wrapping. It looks like we did lose Carol to her cell phone battery, but Lauren, good morning.
Morning. I got out at about 5 to 8 and tried to link on, and I couldn't get the link for some reason. And then you sent it to me, so now I've got it. But I've got my dog with me. Come here, Bailey. Come here. I've been playing with her out in the backyard.
Aw.
And we went for a long walk. I got about 5,000 steps in so far.
Nice.
And she's been, it's an Australian blue heeler.
I thought it was a blue heeler. Yeah, beautiful, smart dog. They are smart dogs, aren't they?
Yes, they are. She can figure out stuff that she plays with tools. That's how smart she is.
Was she the one that ultimately got you on Zoom? Did you hand your phone to Bailey and have her get you on Zoom?
I should have. But it's interesting. She uses a tool to play hockey with me. She takes her plastic or rubber bone, and I have a piece of bone that she has. And in the kitchen, we play hockey for about 25 to 30 minutes. And that's when she gets tired, because she's been bouncing this thing around using the toy in her mouth to shoot the toy across the floor. So it's and I've never seen a dog do that. So, but she is smart as a whip, and she's going to go after the dog next door.
Well, that's great.
Been enjoying the walk, and just kind of missed all the talk that went on for the past 45 minutes. But I like the stuff that Emily had to say. It's good information, going on YouTube to get the other information. And it's not an outrageous amount for $12 a month to get into the program. So that's something that it can also be done privately. So it makes it really nice.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they think about Peloton, they think about the Peloton bicycle, and Emily did get one of those, and they're wonderful and everything. But along with that bicycle came the app, and it was quickly realized by both of us that, wow, the app part of Peloton is kind of more valuable than the bike. It's certainly more versatile. You always have your phone with you, and you just fire it up and do your workout. So yeah, we're big promoters, I guess, advocates of Peloton. It's really, really great program. But if somebody doesn't want to, or have the ability to budget the $12 a month, then like Emily said, there's plenty of free YouTubes out there that would be sufficient as well. It's really just a matter of somebody choosing to do it, picking something and getting going and going from there.
Okay. That's good information.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. And we'll let you get back to Bailey, and then Hank, if you are interested in unmuting. Okay. Looks like you're unmuted, and there's Hank. Good. Hey,
good morning, guys. Good morning. Everybody doing great.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hank.
Happy birthday.
Today is literally the day, right? Today is literally your birthday, right? Today is your birthday, right? The 19th?
No, tomorrow.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, oops. I thought it was today. Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Close enough. Thank you. So, by the way, Kathy, congratulate Michael working at the Mustang. That was one of the car lines I was a design engineer on. Okay. So tell him that he's in a good area. Okay.
I sure will, Hank. I know he'll be anxious to spend some time and talk with you about it someday. That's for sure.
Great. And Larry, take a lot of vitamin C, buddy, because that's a great infection fighter. And it builds your white blood cells to fight infection and so on. And one other thought, Kathy, the young lady that's having stomach problems, that's where inflammation generally starts, okay? The high majority of inflammation starts in the gut, and you need to lead her into the probiotics and the fiber and so forth to start taking care of that. That's a great product. In fact, I just finished my morning routine. Started out with the excess energy and focus, the rhodiola, which, by the way, I got to give credit Carol to because she's the one that led me to it a while back. She's been telling me about it. I kept putting it off. I've been on it now, and I love it. And of course, all the side benefits of it is awesome because it banishes fatigue by energizing the brain cells. It beats stress and the blues by boosting serotonin. And here's the key one, helps you lose pounds and inches by revving calorie burn. Okay. A daily dose of rhodiola helps you burn 70% more calories when exercising. And that's awesome. And it protects your heart by making it more efficient. So a lot of benefits to rhodiola in our energy and focus, guys. It's awesome product. So just some thoughts I want to share. You know, I do subscribe to a number of different newsletters by several doctors, and one of them I mentioned in the past, Dr. Al Sears. And the sad part is what the media and the pharmaceutical companies do is program people to medications, all right? It's all about programming. Our job is to deprogram those people from medication, because here's what Dr. Sears says about medications. Drugs are single, highly concentrated compounds. They don't provide all the complementary benefits that come from whole herbs and plants, or even plant extracts. That's where our vitamins come from, right? That's why the chemical version are more likely to cause side effects, whether that's intentional or not. That's a pretty powerful statement by Dr. Sears. And just in case you don't remember, Dr. Sears is one of the nation's first board-certified anti-aging physicians, okay? And he's highly known in all areas, and he speaks on many different programs and so on and so forth. So he's one I love to follow with all the information. He also talks about proper nutrition with natural compounds, natural herbs. That's where Nutrilite comes in. It's all natural. And as you well know, Carol and I are both medications free, and we love our life and feel great. And we look forward to many, many, many more years. Okay. So love being on this program, guys. Eric, you're doing a great job putting this on every Saturday. And there's so much to learn. And by the way, I will be wearing the shirt, Eric, on next Wednesday, because I'm doing the program for the seniors called the Seniors Friendship Center. And Carol and I are going to be both there, talk about HealthPointe a little bit and talk about proper nutrition and see where that goes. Wearing that shirt should raise a lot of questions, I'm sure. So looking forward to that. Thank you for sharing that shirt with us. Okay. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's great, Hank. Boy, that'll be fun if Carol or anyone can get a picture of you while you're there or something. That would be wonderful. If not, no worries. It sounds fantastic. And well, Hank, as always, you've got so much that you share with us. You just clocked through and picked up on different points that everybody made in here and just added value to them. So thank you so much. And again, happy birthday from all of us. I know officially it's tomorrow, but we just think the world of you. You are the epitome of leadership, and you are an amazing example of the benefits of proper nutrition and educating yourself, getting the facts, following the science, and living it. So just I know all of us just sharing a big happy birthday to you, and we just thank you for how much value you add just on a continuous basis. We just can't thank you enough.
And thank you to you. Good to see all of you. Stay healthy.
You got it. All right, guys. Have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.